Hey everyone, hope you all are doing good and being safe in these difficult times. This is my first YouTube video. I'm using this platform to perform a case study on how efficiently one can use their income to work and earn additional income. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I does not even work in a financial sector. This is just me documenting my journey on passive income dividend investment. I welcome you all to follow me on this journey. So, before I go in detail on what I'm planning to achieve here, I want to give you a overview about me. I live in Canada. I do have a full-time job. I work 8 to 5, 5 days a week, and that is the only source of income for me. So, like everyone, or like most of us, we are going through these difficult times. We do have to pay our bills, we have a lot of expenses, and sometimes you feel that this one source of income is not enough for this. And also, there is always an uncertainty. You never know what happens next. So, for quite a while, I've been trying to create a second income. But since I invest most of my time in my primary job, sometimes I hardly find time for anything else. So that's what the idea about why don't you make your money do the work for you came. So I got this idea basically from some of my friends, and once that idea came into my mind, I did some research as well on internet. So there are a lot of sources on internet that gives different ways to do that, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to try that out. So I'm new to investing, but I've been investing for the last 4 to 5 years. What I meant by this is I do have an RRSP and a TFSA account with my bank. When you're young, you don't think about retirement or how much money when you need when you retire. So the main aim of opening an RRSP account was to save some money from my tax. So I set up an appointment with my bank. The financial advisor helped me to open a RRSP account. They asked some basic questions. They have a questionnaire of like regarding when you want to retire and like what is your comfort level with the risk factors and all. I believe like most of you may have went through that. So based on it, they selected a plan for me. And since I know nothing about investing at that point of time, I went with whatever they suggested. And till now, to even now, that is the plan that I have for my RRSP. I have not changed it. They have not recommended to change it. And every year I put some money into it, like 2 months before the tax filing season. Later, I opened a TFSA account with the same bank, and that process was also similar. It was a fund that was suggested by the financial advisor there, and I put the money in it every 6 months or 5 to 8 months during that time frame. And I still had no clue about what I was doing, to be frank. Later, when I start reading about mutual funds, investments, that's when I noticed that it was a good plan to open a RSP and TFSA, but I was looking for something that can give me an additional income. And the plans that I have, particularly TFSA, because RRSP is anyway for retirement, TFSA was more of a growth plan, which is required, but I need something extra. It will give a more flexibility and control if you have an option to select individual stocks or individual ETF, mutual funds, like that. So I opened a trading account with my bank. The reason is like I have everything with the same bank, so I thought that would be an easier option. And once I opened it, I started investing a little bit. So my plan was to invest in high performing, high security blue chip Canadian stocks. Most of my plan was to include those kind of stock in my portfolio, and then I was okay to take a little bit of risk on some of the stocks. But within like probably like 4 or 5 months of opening the trading account, I got to know that what my plan would not work with this trading account. The reason was, of course, the commission. And I don't have a bulk amount of money that I could invest on this high performing stocks. My plan was to actually do a systematic kind of investment, monthly wise or like quarterly. I put some money towards these stocks, and as the price goes down, I buy these stocks to average out my investment. So if you have like say 2000 or 3000 or more like investing on a single stock on a single point of time, then yes, the commission is not that impact you. But if you want to invest like $150, $200 on one stock on a monthly basis, then these commissions would start biting you a bit. So that was one of the major issues that I faced with this trading account. I got introduced to WealthSimple Trade account. It is a zero commission account. It is safe. So I thought that's a good opportunity. The plan is to put $500 monthly into this trading account and build a diversified portfolio. But I am only concentrating on those stocks that gives me dividend. I'm not looking for any specific stock that I'm going to buy now and sell it in another 3 months. That being said, I'm not saying that I will not be selling shares here. If a share really performs bad, even if the dividend is good, if it really performs bad, then I'm going to actually sell it. So I thought of using this opportunity to document the entire process, like go through the portfolio, what all stocks I'm buying, how much dividend I'm earning, and by the end of the year, we'll get to know that whether this plan works or not. I'm more confident that it will work. So enough about introduction. I'll just show you what my portfolio currently looks like. I just started it like 3 weeks back. Started with $500. So I'll just go through that, and then in the coming weeks, when I'm buying new share, I will actually post a video, and once in 2 weeks or so when I get dividend, and we'll go through how the portfolio is progressing. It's my portfolio. It is a TFSA account. As I said earlier, I have invested like $500 in the month of January. That's hike, and another $500 in the month of February. In this portfolio, I have 3 holdings: Canadian National Railway, RioCan, and XIU, which is an ETF fund. So the plan here is to diversify the portfolio based on the investment type as well. That's why I have a share, a REIT, and an ETF. But most of the portfolio that I'm gonna be building will be individual shares, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna invest anything in REITs or ETF. So let's have a quick look at the 3 holdings that I have. The first one is Canadian National Railway, which is the largest freight transportation network in Canada. I have 2 shares at a price of $131.75. They're not known that much for its dividend. However, I feel that there is a great growth potential for it, and I'm planning to buy a couple of shares every month or 2 so that I can slowly build up my portfolio with this one. The next one is RioCan, and I have 5 shares. So this is the REIT, and they give dividend. The dividend is really good, and they give us a monthly dividend. So that's the reason why I invested in it. I may be adding a couple more REITs on my portfolio. The last but not the least is an ETF. So
I do have 5 shares of this one, and they also have considerable amount of dividend. So that's something that I'm gonna slowly build up my portfolio as well. So that is it, like the three different holdings that I have, and I'll be uploading more videos as I'm gonna buying more stocks to it. So my plan is to diversify the portfolio, that I'm gonna build up my portfolio with more stocks. So I won't be buying these ones this month, but I would be expanding my portfolio with new stock. That's it for the first video, and I will upload shortly a second video when I'm buying the stocks sometime this week. So till then, stay safe.